Hey guys, what's up? So this week is going to be such a very long week if you are a huge Pokemon fan, and if you've been waiting since like February or January when they announced this, that Pokemon X and Y launches this Saturday, and it's going to be the best day in the world. Nobody else bother me, nobody call me, nobody text me, nobody don't leave my door locked, because I'm going to be playing that game all day long, because I've been waiting way too long for this game to actually finally get here, and it's gonna be such a long week. But anyway, I decided that I would do a Pokemon themed video this week, anticipating the release for the Pokemon X and Y, and I decided that I was going to do a top 10 favorite Pokemon list. I've never done one of these before, and I made a list, and it was actually not really that hard to decide which ones were my favorite and which ones were not. But as I was going through all 650 Pokemon, you kind of start to realize which ones you actually don't like more over the ones you do like. Anyway, let's start this list off by honorable mentions. These are Pokemon that didn't make the list but almost did, and I have to mention them because they are still really great Pokemon. Gligar, Heracross, Lunatone, Solrock, and Duskull. Those are my honorable mentions because they were so close to making the list because I love those Pokemon too. But now here's my top 10, and also a few disclaimers. 1, my opinion solely. 2, I tried not to single out one single generation, even though it may seem like that, I have no idea. 3, this is not necessarily based on like stats or typing or, you know, if it's like a legendary Pokemon or like whatever kind of, it's just my opinion on Pokemon that I like, and I'll give you my reasons behind them. So let's begin. 10, I'm going to actually start off with a pairing, and it is Scizor and Scyther. Seriously, it's a praying mantis. It's a freaking praying mantis. Now, while I've never had a Scizor on my team before, just look at this thing. Look at it. It is freaking awesome. It is silver, metallic, steel, praying mantis that can crush things with its claws, and it's just awesome. And Scyther can just cut through things, and it's a pretty good bug Pokemon. Like, if you want to battle psychic type trainers, get Scizor and Scyther because they can learn dark moves and really powerful bug type moves, and it's got a great attack stat that will wipe through psychic type Pokemon and their low defense stat. Just saying. Number 9 is Aerodactyl. Now, I didn't realize that I actually really liked Aerodactyl, but once I started like looking into Aerodactyl's stats and everything, it's a really good Pokemon. It's a Pterodactyl, which is like my favorite dinosaur next to the Triceratops, and it's such a powerful fossil Pokemon, probably one of my favorite fossil Pokemon. It's rock and flying type, so it's a unique typing, but it does lose its advantage to electric type moves, I think it might, but it's still nonetheless a really great and powerful Pokemon, just saying. It's pretty awesome. Number 8, yes, I like Mudkip, okay? Mudkip it's a cute little water fish Pokemon. Now, while it wasn't my first starter when I first started playing Pokemon Sapphire, I actually started out with Trico, and then Mudkip. Mudkip is just awesome. It's like a little water fish, and then it becomes like part ground type when it evolves to Marsh Stomp and Swampert, so it automatically just loses that weakness to electric type moves. Does it gain a quad weakness to grass type moves? Yeah, but electric type moves not affecting a water type, that is the best thing in the world. Mudkip. Number 7, Mamoswine. When I tell people that one of my favorite Pokemon is Mamoswine, they're like, really? The weird ice pig clothed thing from Generation 2 that evolved into like a weird tusk thing and then became like a mammoth slash swine. Hi, fire trucks and EMS and police all outside my window. They're like, really? That's one of your favorite Pokemon? It's amazing. Ice type Pokemon aren't generally known as great defensive Pokemon, and they're not great attackers either. But seriously, I like Ice type Pokemon. Ice type Pokemon are really, really cool, and I think that's the only one I actually have on my list. But Mamoswine is just a beast, and I have the story of I went to the one and only like tournament that I ever went to at all, and I went in with my Diamond and Pearl team, and it had a Mamoswine on it, and I was like one of the first people to battle, and I was battling somebody who had a Blaziken, and everybody was watching, and they were like, oh, this guy's about to get, like, completely annihilated because Blaziken against Mamoswine? Come on, dude. Fire against ice, you're gonna lose. I had Mamoswine do an earthquake, it went burst, it smashed Blaziken up, and it was gone, and everybody was like, oh, he killed Blaziken, or made him faint, or whatever. And then I lost. But still, nonetheless, thank you, Mamoswine, for showing everybody that, yes, you are an awesome Pokemon. Number 6, Ranunculus. Now, I know a lot of people say that Generation 5 Pokemon aren't great Pokemon. Design, stat-wise, you know, the whole thing, whatever. That's not what I'm gonna get into. Ranunculus, or however you say his name, Ranunculus or whatever, on my Pokemon White team, and my Pokemon White 2 team, I had to catch a Solosis, evolve it into a Duosis, and evolve into a Ranunculus. It's not a great defensive Pokemon. It's not even that great of a special attacker, honestly. Like, it doesn't really learn great special attacks. Like, you have to actually physically teach it, like, by TMs. It's still one of my favorite Pokemon. I don't know why. I just like the little gelled green psychic design. Way better over that thing. This one, whose name I can't remember. Number 5, like Scyther and Scissorhow, I had to pair them together. I had to pair this one together, but it's 3 of them: Gible, Gabite, and Garchomp. Seriously. And after Ice-type Pokemon, Dragon-type are amazing, which you're gonna say, why do you like Dragon types if Ice-type beats Dragon type? And I don't care, because I love Dragon types. Dragon types are awesome. I was obsessed with dragons when I was in middle school, so when I saw this thing, and it was guess what? A land shark, Jenna Marbles. It's a land shark. Gabite is a land shark. It is seriously the most awesome thing. It is a dragon. It is a shark. It is the most freaking awesome thing that can tear through other teams and everything, which is why, you know, Cynthia has it on her team, and that thing is terrible to take out, but it will always end up on any Diamond, Pearl, Platinum run I ever play. Gotta catch it in that Wayward Cave, gotta go just for that. Chandelure is another Generation 5 Pokemon that a lot of people are like, okay, come on, it's a Generation 5 Pokemon, it is based off a lamp, it is based off a candle, it is based off a chandelier, but it is awesome, because it is a fire ghost type. No other type of Pokemon has that typing, I'm pretty sure. And it is seriously so cool. Like Ranunculus, it will always end up on my Pokemon White 2 team. Anytime I ever play that game, it will always end up on my team because it is awesome. I always teach it Will-O-Wisp, Inferno, Flamethrower, and Hex, because you throw on a burn on your opponent, and then you throw on Hex, and you throw on a Flamethrower, and they are devastated, and they can't do anything to you. They possibly can if they got a really strong water-type attacker, but still it is nonetheless awesome, and it can take down Psychic-type Pokemon with ease. Just saying. Number 3 is Haunter. I didn't realize I loved Haunter so much until back in the day. Hey police, I hear you again. I hear you. They can hear you. I can hear you. We can all hear you. Anyway, it wasn't until I did my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough, the very first walkthrough I ever did, and I had Ghastly on my team and it evolved into Haunter, and then like 2-3 years later when I returned to do Pokemon Crystal and I traded it and it evolved into a Gengar, seriously, Haunter is an amazing Pokemon. Yeah, it can't take on Sabrina like the anime says because technically it's a poison type, so it would easily be demolished by Psychic type Pokemon, but still, it is awesome. And speaking of the anime, that episode, Pokemon Tower, with the Haunter and the way it becomes friends with Ash and the whole little story, and they just want friends, and Haunter's the jokester and the prankster and everything. It's just really a cool, fun-loving little ghost type that's really awesome. 2 is Pikachu. Now, I know what you're gonna say, that I don't care what anybody says, Pikachu is going to be on my top list of Pokemon because it was classic, it's awesome, it's amazing. And look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. This toy I used to play with for so long that he's not even yellow anymore. He is green, he is sickly, there's dust all over him, his tail is ripping apart. This little, like, my aunt sewed, like, this back, like his tail back onto his body. This thing was like my life when I was younger, and it was the coolest little toy in the world, and I bet you're wondering why I have it here with college, but it's not important. Shh. And then my number 1 favorite Pokemon is Totodile. Seriously, it's a little baby crocodile, alligator, blue little sweet thing. Yeah, it's vicious. Yeah, it's crazy and could possibly potentially kill you because it grows into a big giant fur alligator that could crush you like an alligator or whatever. But it just reminds me of like my baby cousin. He's like wild, fun, crazy, and just completely out there. And that's what Totodile is. Like, look at the anime. Look at how they portray him in the anime. He's awesome. And it also goes back to when I did my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough. I chose Totodile over the boring Chikorita and the Cyndaquil, who evolved into the very lackluster Typhlosion. So Totodile is awesome, and you can learn awesome water type moves. You can learn like Crunch and Bite and all those really awesome, powerful jaw moves too. And then pack it with some ice moves, and you can take out some dragon type Pokemon super easily. And especially in Generation 4 when you can teach it Ice Fang. Seriously, great. Anyway, that was my top 10 list of my favorite Pokemon. I hope that wasn't too long, and if your Pokemon didn't make the list, well, I'm sorry, because these are the Pokemon that I am attached to with memories and some kind of stats. Now that I realize about it, I did actually talk about some kind of stats, so I did do that. But let me know what your favorite Pokemon is, like your top 10 or your most favorite Pokemon or whatever you feel like talking about in the comments below. Also talk about Pokemon X and Y because that's coming out this Saturday and that's going to be really awesome. And I will see you guys next Monday with a video of me going to go get Pokemon X, because I'm getting Pokemon X, and then a short little unboxing video, even though there's not really much in it, but I decided I'll do one anyway. Anyway, I'll see you guys next Monday for that video. Leave your comments below about your favorite Pokemon and things, and I will see you in the next time, next Monday. Bye.